All sales and all business is not the same. In fact, if you take care of the two or three big killers that could be enhancing or hampering your growth, you can pretty much be set for that particular business process and use your energies elsewhere to optimize other processes. Nowhere is this more common and more prevalent than in sales and in business development. What that means is, when you go into sales, if you can get a hold of the right client avatar persona, and if you can just remove the major barriers that are preventing them from buying from you, then your sales journeys can be very, very smooth and you can scale very easily. Now, what happens is that in generalized niches, we've already spoken what are the big barriers that prevent people from buying, and one of the biggest objections is, hey man, let me think about it. If you can tackle that big objection, which is let me think about it, then you've removed 80-85% of the big barriers that people have in buying from you. That today is the biggest objection. Similarly, in certain niches like women's niche, you can have an objection which says, hey man, I need to ask my husband. Okay, I need to ask my husband. Now, the biggest problem with this is that women are the primary spenders online, especially on tribe building items. So if you have a health product or tribe, if you have a make money product or tribe, if you have something to do with love life relationships, then you will find that women are spending approximately 60% online for these things. And in all of the big communities, you'll find women are the biggest contributors in network marketing, very, very closely related to the involvement of women or to the involvement of couples. Or if you have anything to do with life coaching, if you have anything to do even in financial planning, you've got women really coming in a big way. So if you're selling to a woman persona, especially if they are not the breadwinner of the family, which is they're not an earning member of the family, then you need to be very, very careful. This applies to you even more if you are a woman to woman selling person. If you're building a community which is especially geared around other women, then the biggest personas that you have to sell are the women who are primarily stay at home, because they are the ones who probably have the need as well as the time to consume your product. Okay, so women selling to other women, or if you have a women centric community, then the maximum sales you can potentially get is from women who are stay at home. But more and more of these women, in fact most cases, you'll find the single biggest objection is, I need to ask my husband before I spend the money. I need to ask my husband before I spend the money. And in this particular video, I'm going to be going into what are the different themes that you can use in order to attract these women, and then what is the dunyadari versus the dukandari aspects that you need to have in control before you go out to sell to this persona. Because selling to this persona can make or break your business. If you are unable to break through that barrier, your business is pretty much dead. And if you can break through that barrier, you can be a multimillionaire. All right, let's get started. My name is Dr. Rajat Sinha. I'm a medical doctor turned sales strategist. And through the use of these YouTube videos, I'm getting this concept of how to do sales, how to ask for the money, and how to get that money to change hands over to you, because this is a skill that is sadly lacking in the tribe building market. A lot of people talk about online marketing, online lead generation, but regardless of how many online leads you get, you're still going to fail if you don't know how to get that money to change hands. Okay, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel so that these videos can reach you and I can get the benefit of the YouTube algorithm. All right, let's get started. So what I'm going to do over here is, I have my screen where I'm going to be sharing some items, and then on the right side I've got my Mad Money script, which I'm going to be walking you through, and how do you take care of this problem, which is, hey man, I need to ask my husband. Okay, so so let's get started. Now I want to go through some of the different themes, marketing themes that need to be solid. So whatever your offer is, you need to thematically make it as per what women are buying, and these could be career women as well as stay at home moms and things like that. And then as per these themes, how do you utilize it during the closing process to make sure that you get that payment. Okay, so let's go to the top themes that women are buying. Let me just open this up. The first big theme is community and sisterhood. Community and sisterhood, which basically means I want to be with women who understand me or where I can belong. Okay, I want to be with women who can understand me or where I feel like I belong. Okay, so community and sisterhood, which is I want to be around other women who understand me. Now, over here we will have safe, non-judgmental spaces. Those should be the themes you sell to. Shared life journeys, which has to do with motherhood, solopreneurship, wellness journey, etc. Shared identity or causes, which could be around feminism, sustainability, spirituality. These are some of the themes that women buy into. So when you're approaching this market through your ads or through your even through your webinars or things like that, these are the themes that should come across. Majority of what you're speaking in your content should come across and should tag into these themes. Okay, so community and sisterhood is the first one. What is the next one? The next one we have empowerment and growth. And what does it say? I want to level up with other powerful women. So women want to, especially people who are career minded, who want to kind of make money or who want to give up their job and be a solopreneur or something like that. I want to level up with other powerful women. That's what they're thinking. And the theme is empowerment and growth. Okay, confidence, leadership, money mindset, skill building. These are the products that go with it. Mentor guidance plus stories of transformation. That means women want to look at you as a mentor. So you should yourself come across as that avatar. And then you should have stories of transformation being shared in your community so that they feel that they are at the right place. Okay, so these are the little more ambitious women and they want to see a leader in you. Okay, what's the next theme? The third theme is convenience and flexibility. Very, very important. Whatever your product or your tribe is, remember that these women have kids, they are juggling multiple things in their life, they are overworked, and what they want to see is, I don't want to exceed my time and emotional bandwidth. Okay, so what they're going to say is, I don't want to exceed my time and emotional bandwidth, regardless of how juicy your offer and how attractive your community. What you want to do is you want to make sure you have convenient timings, you have flexible access via apps and things like that. Even if you have like a course program or something loaded up on an app so that they can see it on the go with their mobile and things like that, the more you can make it easy for them to access and consume, the better it is going to be for you. Okay, next you have, very, very important when you're selling to women, aesthetic and vibe needs to be super good, because women are kind of 3D, the brains are 3D, unlike men. So they don't have focal thinking, they have varied thinking. So they have like 100% of their neurons firing at all times, and the look and feel and the energy of whatever you're selling is as important as the functionality and whatever your mission is and whatever the end result is. Okay, so look, feel and theme is very important. So aesthetic and vibe has to be, when they are looking at you, they're thinking, do I vibe with this? So be very, very careful when you choose your brand colors. Be very careful what tone of voice and what is the overall tone that you're selling in, even in your webinars and things like that. And they are going to be thinking at an energy level, does this feel right to me? Does this feel right to me? So make sure when you're building a community, you have really studied your client persona and everything, even apart from the functionality and all of that, even the colors and the energy and everything, that when women see your brand and interact with your brand, it has to be on point. Okay, and all of that is going to come from a very good solid study of your client persona. Okay, so once again, I'll just go top to bottom. You've got community and sisterhood, empowerment and growth, convenience and flexibility, aesthetic and vibe. And then what I want to do is I want to outline to you some examples of communities that you can build, even if you're into love life coaching, whether you're into healthcare or make money or anything like that. So you've got Boss Babe, which can be for female entrepreneurship. You can have the Mom Project for working moms. You can have Girl Boss for career growth. You can have Every Girl for lifestyle, career and money, which could be a lifestyle brand. You can have the Ladies Finance Club for financial empowerment. So these are some recommended names. Now these names may already be taken, which means people may have used them, but I'm just giving you some examples of how you can name your community or your mission so that it resonates with the right client persona. If your client persona is a woman, whether working ladies or stay-at-home moms. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to go and I want to talk to you about the Mad Money sales script and how do you make sure that this whole thing works out for you, and you are able to make that sale. So from a transactional standpoint, remember that if you're not talking to an out and out career woman who's super independent or anything like that, even if you're talking to somebody who's a career woman who may be, let's say, doing a teacher's job where she's not primarily the big breadwinner of the family, or personality wise who may not be that independent. All of that comes on a case to case basis. I don't want to generalize, but when you look at certain professions, or when you look at the persona, when you look at the placement of that particular lady, you want to be very very careful of how you pitch for the price, how you pitch for the payment. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to walk you through the Mad Money script over here, and it works like a clock. You start with a high energy opening, go to the introduction, and then you have the FAQs, which is what, why, how long, who, when. I won't go deep into what are all these sections. You can watch my other videos. But basically what happens is, when you're going into what, why, how long, when you go into understanding them, of how their life looks, you want to look at what are the other spends that they have done, which are which are kind of little more to do with them. Where have they been spending their money on themselves? Okay, have they spent on their own health? Have they spent on their own self looking good? Do they go out for their own shopping? What are the things that they buy which is truly for their own self? Do they go out, take a yoga class or something that is truly for their own self, and not really utilitarian for their family? So the women may be spending on their family. They may have a budget, they may have a credit card, they may have their, even if they're stay at home moms, they may have a means of paying, and they may be spending a lot of money for the sake of the family. They may be buying groceries, paying the household staff and things like that. But that doesn't mean they're going to spend on your product. You got to look at, have they been spending on something for themselves? What does that spending pattern look like? How do they make that spend? Like, what is the mode of payment that they use? And for those spends, what is their usual budgeting, and do they need to ask their spouses at that time? This is the part that you're going to ascertain during the what, why, how long. When you ask the power questions, when you go through that whole sequence, then this is what you want to ascertain. What are the things that they're spending on themselves? How are they making those spends? Do they have a budget? Do they need to ask their spouse for this particular thing? Okay. Then when you go down, and when you explain what your backstory is, when you explain what your vehicle is, which could be something to do with your mission, it could be something to do with your backstory, and overall whatever your theme and your purpose is for your community, when you give that, you need to ask them, hey man, is this something that vibes with you? Is this something that that kind of resonates with what you have already been doing in your life? Is this some direction that you want to go into? And if they say yes, then what you're going to do is you're going to say, hey man, if I invited you to be with us in our community for a few days, would you like to try it out? Okay, so your if I would you question has to be very upfront. Hey man, does this vibe with you in general? Would you like to try it out for a few days? Because remember, women are going to make decisions based on the vibe and the overall aesthetic, as much as they're going to work on the functionality. So even if you have a make money offer or something, make sure that you're hitting all of these different buttons, which are community and sisterhood, empowerment and growth, convenience and flexibility, and aesthetic and vibe. Okay, so make sure you're hitting all these buttons, and then you're asking an open-ended question. Hey man, does this interest you if I asked you to work with us or test us out for a few days? Do you think that will be something that you want to do? And if they say yes, then you're halfway in. Okay, at that point, it's going to be very important that you ask them when they have spent on themselves, and then tell them this is something that you're doing truly for yourself. I'd like you to test us out for a few days, and then I want you to slowly introduce the idea to your husband. Let's see if they also vibe with it, and then you can go full speed ahead. Okay, and at that point you can make a part sale, which is you can probably get a deposit or something like that, and deposit has to be a little more sizable, so make it 40-50% of the total price. Okay, so that there is some skin in the game, and then they can try it out for a little bit and then introduce the idea to their husband. Okay, so if that's the best possible close that I think that is going to work for this. And also very very important is that also if you have where other ladies are involved and their kids and their spouses have also gotten involved, make sure that you have those case studies to make them feel that they're doing something for the whole family, and it's not something that they're doing only for themselves. Although when they start getting involved, it is for themselves. It is a personal decision. They're doing it for themselves, just something that they deserve. Okay, so a lot of women may have, especially if they're not the breadwinners, they may have, hey, this is something I don't deserve. It is going to be a spend. Maybe I'll feel guilty about it. So make sure you recognize all of these triggers that are going to go off in their brain. Okay, make sure you can just share with them that this is something you're doing it for yourself, you deserve it, and over a period of time the whole family is going to get involved in the community, like we have so many other people whose family has gotten involved. I want you to test it out, and based on how comfortable you are, you can just get your husband's insight once you have tested it out, once you've tried it out for 5-7 days. Okay. Also, one of the biggest thing is when women introduce a new idea or something to their husbands, a lot of husbands are may be dismissive because they are busy at work and things like that. So you need to understand those dynamics also. When the husband actually comes back to the home, when they're talking about something that they truly want to do, is the husband dismissive because they're too overworked, and is it something that they don't really support, or is it something that they're going to let the wife do because, hey, don't ask me, just do it, and whatever is good for you is good for me. Don't get me involved in the decision taking of it. So you got to understand how is the husband involved in the decision taking, how deep is it, how supportive they are, or are they dismissive of decisions, because based on that you will be introducing the offer. Okay, so these are some of the things that can absolutely help you in closing with women who may be saying, hey man, I need to ask my husband. And if you're selling to women who are not career women or primary breadwinners, this is going to be the number one objection that's going to get you through. Once you are able to master this objection, there are so many communities which are women only communities, and the revenue generated by these communities is insane, upwards of 10-20 crore rupees a year, which is amazing for a solopreneur business. And if that is something that you're doing, then I wish you all the best with these techniques. Do let me know in the comments if it helped you and which is the part that you're going to try and which is the part that worked for you. If you have further questions, come back to this video and let me know and I'll help you further. All right, look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye bye.